What's going on? What's going on? Brutus here, bringing you the first of a new series, Brutally Honest, on the maiden voyage, where we focus on the game player or the person themselves, the user that plays the game. I want to do a track around YouTube, and I couldn't help but reach out to Bisectatron from OneHive Gazette. Go ahead and say hello, man.
Hey, what's going on? How you doing, Brutus?
Hey, man, thanks for jumping on and agreeing to do this. I really appreciate it. My understanding is that you also had a similar idea to go out and interview some different people in the Clash community as well as YouTube, right?
Yeah, I was actually, I talked in a video about wanting to start this series, and a few days later I checked my messages, and you had contacted me, and then from there, I think it was a mutual thing we wanted to do. So yeah, I'm excited to be here, and I'm excited to also do the interview with you on my channel.
Oh, yeah. Hey, yeah. Definitely. I'll put the link down in there into the description here. I was really honored that you actually returned the favor back and were like, hey, do you want to be in my first maiden voyage? So we're each other's first. We're forever intertwined in our memories of Clash community. Aww. No, but for my series, what I wanted to focus on is the player himself, Bisectatron, as well as the channel, OneHive Gazette, and then how that intertwines with who you are as a person outside of the game as well, and then just kick it off podcast. And so that's really the format that we'll start. And in the background, what I have going on, just so that we don't have complete like a stale base going on, is I'll just show some of the raids that I didn't post or may have posted from prior videos, but at least they got some backdrop going on. So to start it off here, really I just wanted to focus on who you are as a person, the man. So where are you located geographically?
Yeah, so I'm in the Seattle area in Washington State, so Pacific Northwest. In the time zone is kind of weird for Clash of Clans because I'm always on, and it's like in the middle of the night for a lot of people. So it's an interesting time zone. But yeah, I'm in by Seattle, that kind of area.
Isn't Power Bang up in that area? Is that true?
I don't know actually. I haven't reached out to him officially very much, so he might very well be.
I think he might be because he's always wearing those Seattle Seahawks jerseys in his face cams on his videos. But that could be a different conversation, right?
Yeah.
It'd be kind of cool. You come over there for like having a beer and doing some Clash together. That'd be like an in-person video. It'd be kind of cool if was in that area for you.
Yeah.
So you had mentioned in a video, because I've watched you. I've watched your videos from way back in the day. I think like before you even got to 10,000 subs. I looked at you at about 6,000. Is where I started watching, and around that time frame, and through comment sections, a lot of people were asking like, "How old are you?" So my assumption is that you're graduating, or if not, just graduated high school.
Yeah, and first of all, thanks for long-time viewership. I had no idea that it was such a long time. But yeah, I'm senior year of high school, so I'm 17, which is why I was cringing a little on the beer comment because I have to wait 4 years for that with Power Bang. But so yeah, I'm a senior in high school and applying to colleges and stuff right now.
Yeah, if you're gonna have a beer, you can't duels. I mean, you might as well have some alcohol in it. So, and you can't go there with like a virgin daiquiri. You don't strike me as that kind of a guy anyway. So coming out of high school, do you have any personal plans of what you wanted to do for college or a career?
I mean, it's wide open at this point. I've applied to a lot of colleges and stuff, and I'm still waiting to hear back from them. Won't hear for a month or so. But yeah, I'm interested in engineering, possibly like aerospace engineering, maybe planetary science. I'm kind of a space geek, so I don't know exactly what I'll be doing, but hopefully it's something involved in that because that's kind of what I'm interested in right now.
That's so interesting because. And I swear, this is our first time meeting and actually talking to one another. I'm actually a prior Air Force and aeronautical engineer, so I've actually.
I heard that in one of your videos. Yeah.
Yeah. It's I couldn't. I love jets. It's a good career to go through. So good luck. I'll let you know right now. I don't know anybody, so I can't give you any connections. Lars from OneHive. He also is into aerospace engineering as well. the other part is I kind of got the vibe that you're into interplanetary and space because in one of your videos you mentioned, or you had a link to one of your videos in your description where don't you have a whole separate channel that I think is used for projects of school?
Okay, so I was about to bust you there. I was about to say if you're a longtime subscriber, you should know I have a second channel. I'll make that a shout out. But no, yeah, you're right. It wasn't for school projects. I started it at the beginning of last summer, just because I had a ton of free time, and it just felt like something interesting to do because I already had the YouTube experience from Clash of Clans. I haven't uploaded on it in a long time, and I hopefully will get back to it. But yeah, that's just another outlet to try to kind of express my interest in space and engineering and all that good stuff.
That's very cool. I actually, no BS, I share the same passion with not astrology, astronomy, you know, the space itself, not the constellations. But so that's very cool. Speaking of, I think you might have been gone into other, because you're into this, you know, flight stuff, space as well as engineering. Do you play any other games that maybe fit that? You know, possibly RPGs or fantasy related, or go out to like Mass Effect. Is COC or Clash of Clans the only game that you play so passionately?
That's an interesting question. Right now, yeah, and I wouldn't even say I play Clash of Clans passionately right now. It's more of I don't have time to do farming attacks. My heroes have been 3640 for a long time. I'm mainly just doing wars, YouTube. But yeah, I have been playing Clash for a long time. And as far as other games, I've kind of gone through phases. Like I went through a Minecraft phase like everyone else at some point when I was like 14, I think. And I've done a little bit of console on the Xbox, but I'm not a serious gamer. I've never described myself as that. It's always just been kind of a steady just thing to have fun with on the side because, you know, it rains a lot in Seattle, so it can't be, you know, doing stuff outside all the time.
Well, how did you get into Clash of Clans?
Yeah, so my friend told me to download it. This must have been 3.5 years ago. Yeah, going into high school. So yeah, 3.5 years ago. But my friend told me, check out this game, and I was like, okay, kind of reluctantly. And he put it on the dock of my iPhone, you know, with like the 4 apps that are always there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm just gonna move it back to like the back because I need like other stuff there. But it still remains on my dock to this day, the very far left. And yeah, I mean, I was hooked right away. And there's something awesome about just kind of discovering as you go and seeing the new troops and not knowing what the next step is. It was really fun. I still remember the feeling of just playing Clash for the first time, even when there wasn't war, but there was such a mystery as far as what the next upgrade, what the next troop is going to be, and that's something that made me stick with it for a long time. You know,
it's good that you said that because, you know, the game a couple of years ago, it's only, what, four years old?
About 5 or 6, maybe 5. I don't know, a little older than that.
I do remember that, like when Town Hall 10 wasn't a thing. You know, like it was like, okay, what are they going to do? There's all these empty spaces. In that thing that you had mentioned about that mystery, is that why you applied for OneHive Genesis, or how did your transition go, or decision to apply for the OneHive family? Because I believe OneHive Genesis was part of the OneHive family when you were there, right?
Yeah, Genesis was somewhat new. It was probably still a little bit lower level because I think at one point it was somewhat of a feeder into OneHive. I'm not exactly sure, but I originally applied for the main OneHive clan that you're in, and I kind of got put in Genesis as part of the tryout process. And then it was funny because they always say, like, once you get to Genesis, you're going to want to stay there. The leaders of Genesis did. And then I'm like, no way. As soon as there's a spot, I'm going into OneHive because I was a big fan of Jake, and I wanted to, you know, be on his YouTube channel, I guess, and be able to have that experience. But no, I ended up staying in Genesis, and yeah, I love it. Been there for, I think, a little over a year, about maybe 15 months.
Did you come over to Genesis as a 10?
No, I was a 9. I actually got rejected the first time I applied because my heroes were, I was Town Hall 9. My heroes were, I want to say like 15, which was too low. or maybe even lower than that, but they were disproportionately low. So I had to get them up to the 20s or something. And then when I was kind of a mid to close to max Town Hall 9, I was accepted.
Oh, right on. I had a similar situation like that, but that could be a different view of a conversation. I'm sure we'll do with yours. Let's move towards your channel, because your channel has been a while for. It has been a while. It's been around for a while, and it's starting to really grow, as far as from what I can tell, exponentially as of late. Why did you start a YouTube channel? This specific, the OneHive Gazette.
So my channel wasn't always named OneHive Gazette. It actually started out as Clash of Clans Manual,
Wow.
and that's why my Twitter handle is @ClashManual.
Oh my gosh!
Because you can't change. Is it all making sense now?
Yeah, it is. I didn't know that. I didn't know it was Clash Manual.
Yeah, so I made the YouTube, I think, a year after I started playing. So this is 2.5 years ago. Yeah. So this is, it's been around for a while. I started it kind of inspired by Chief Pat, I think, because he did some war recap videos way back when, and I thought it was really interesting. And war was a pretty new thing. It wasn't just came out, but it was pretty new, and there wasn't a whole lot of people doing it. So I decided I wanted to just show my attacks, show the attacks of my friends, because I was kind of in clans with my friends. And then from there, it just was kind of a trashy channel, to be honest, for a while until I started watching Jake's videos, and I thought to myself, I want to make my videos like this, where people can learn and benefit from the videos beyond just the people whose attacks are being shown. Because I made other videos that weren't even war related. They were pretty stupid.
You're so harsh on yourself.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I deleted all those videos, so but you won't be able to see the evidence I have. But go back and watch my first recap. I always tell people it's still there. Clan War Recap #1. After this, you should watch it.
Oh, I'm going to now. I'm definitely going to now, and I'm sure a lot of people watching this are going to now as well.
And my voice is way higher. I think I was 14 when I made it.
Oh my God, stop watching this.
Yeah, a side story, if I can. One of my videos got played at school because a lot of people know that I have a YouTube channel, and I just kind of get people kind of jokingly make fun of me for it, because it's like, who plays Clash of Clans anymore? Because it was a fad a while ago, and it got played in my research class this year, and it was just so cringy listening to it with just all these people that think it's the stupidest thing, Clash of Clans, talking about all this stuff that makes no sense. So anyway, that's kind of a side thing. Lost track of where I was. But yeah, I guess I was saying my channel changed after I watched Jake's videos, and it became more of the content that he was putting out for a while. And I think that's what caused it to grow and get to where it is now. Not to say it wasn't a really long process, because it took 2.5 years to get to where I am today, and I've probably made hundreds and hundreds of videos. So it is a very slow process, and maybe we'll talk later about some advice I have for YouTubers trying to start a channel. That's
actually one of the questions I have. Perfect segue. What advice do you have for someone starting the game, also starting Clash of Clans for the first time, as well as starting a YouTube channel for the first time?
It's hard to start Clash of Clans right now. It's hard if you want to join the pocket of the community that we're in, being the CWL or relatively competitive war clans that are doing this more seriously. Because if you're not going to spend, I guess, money to upgrade your account quicker, it takes a while still they've made it easier and cheaper, but it still takes a while to go up to Town Hall 9, which is really where war starts. Town Hall 8's kind of been lost to overpowered attacks. So I guess I would recommend, if you're picking up Clash of Clans right now, don't feel rushed. Just enjoy the game. Don't go on Clash of Clans wiki and look up all this stuff, or go on YouTube. I would just take it as you go. And just have that element of mystery that I was talking about before, where you don't know what the next thing is. I remember it was just fun to build a farming base to try to defend the loot when I was at Town Hall 4, 5, seeing how all these
Yeah.
defenses work together. Because at the point we're at right now, everything's been broken down to a science so much that there's not really any new discovery. It was very difficult to discover new things and new concepts on your own.
Hmm.
So I think that being a new player, you kind of have a privilege in a way of not having all these expectations and people telling you how to do it. You can kind of just enjoy the game in a more authentic way. Even if you're not in our pocket of the game, you can find other ways to enjoy it. So anyway, as far as YouTube, I guess that one's a little trickier. I actually had someone reach out to me recently asking for advice. And I guess what I would say is, and this is kind of cliche, it's been said a lot, but do something different. And that's probably the most important thing, because if you do the same thing that 10 other YouTubers are doing,
Yeah.
they're going to have bigger channels than you. They're going to probably be more popular at first. And there's no way to really accumulate viewers if you're not adding anything new. So if there's a new segment, and I get one of the examples I use is my Clan War mini tips. It was just some idea I had, a 30-second or a minute-long video to just get one concept for people that didn't want to watch a 10-minute video, because so many videos are like 10, 15 minutes, and it's like I just want to see the skeleton of the video. So that was one idea I had, and stuff like that attracts viewers that
Yeah.
otherwise wouldn't be watching your channel. So I would say be different and just have fun with it. If it was easy, everyone would probably do it. So you got to stick with it. I got one subscriber a day probably for my first I don't know, 6 months.
Yeah.
So just have fun. If you're doing it for the viewers or for the subscribers, you might be disappointed. So to have some other reason, maybe you just enjoy talking about the game, maybe your friends like watching it, try to have some other reason. And if you just have fun with it, eventually the subscribers, the views should roll in as well.
Yeah, well stated. Well stated. You had mentioned about how you played this at school, your channel, one of your videos at school, and I do have a personal question for you, and you can omit your answer on this completely. But
Okay.
I gotta ask, like, don't you get any play from the girls? Like, you are a YouTube star, man. Don't you use that to your advantage? Be like, you want to be going out on a date or a significant other. They don't care. You don't get any play from that.
No.
I love your straightforward answer.
No, it's interesting because there's this thing called senior superlatives at my school where they give an award for the most blank, the most of something.
Right.
And one of them is like social media star. And I guess YouTube counts as social media. So a bunch of my friends who know I have a YouTube channel were trying to get everyone to vote for me. And I thought, okay, maybe I'll get some kind of social value from this channel. But I didn't win because they didn't take into account the votes. They just had some ASB person arbitrarily choose it. So close, but no on that one. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. You probably have a different experience being out of high school, but I don't play Clash of Clans in school. I don't talk about my channel much. It's just kind of something that people don't care about that much. If I was, like a Casey Neistat, I think people would flock to me more. It's just that my channel's a little bit too small, and it's a gaming channel, which has a little extra stigma to it.
Yeah. What does your family think about this, the channel and all that? Because I know you put hours into making the video. It may be easy for you and I to be like, oh yeah, but I can just pop out a video pretty fast or whatever. But you still have to put some forethought into it. You still have to you are putting some effort and time into what's a good idea that I think people might enjoy. Like with the video, like your 30-minute, like your tip for war, which I really enjoyed and thought it was brilliant, actually, like a quick one hitter, right? But what does your family think about this?
I think they're pretty supportive. It's not something that is being shoved in their face all the time because my brother's in college and my parents are doing stuff a lot. So I mainly just record when I'm at home alone and there's no other distractions and stuff. So there's not like, oh, I have to go record a video usually. I can kind of fit it in. And I think they like that it's, teaching me stuff about having kind of my own business in a
Yeah,
way.
yeah, yeah.
Because there is an element of, okay, analyze the statistics, how you going to grow this, stuff like that.
If
So
that's what you want to do, right?
right, yeah. But I think regardless, it's a good kind of experience to have no matter what field I'm going into or some stuff like that. And yeah, they've just been supportive. I mean, I guess they don't like how Clash of Clans used to take up so much of my time because I would play it so much.
Yeah.
But now that I'm less on the phone and I'm more in front of the microphone, I think that they haven't given me any complaints about it recently.
Well, that's interesting. I was curious about that. I have just a few questions left here, and then we can wrap this up here. A little bit about
Sure.
about the game. What do you think? So really, you can just give a giant answer on this, and we can see where it goes with it. But I want to loop some questions together and see what your thoughts were. What are your thoughts on the current state of the game? Specifically, like, is 11 in a good spot? Is 10 in a good spot? Is 9 in a good spot? And if not, what do you think? What do you think should solve for that? Issues that are not in a good spot. And then lastly, the almighty Town Hall 11. What do you? Everybody, I think, is in agreement that is not in a good spot. And you may think differently, and I may be wrong, but if you are of that belief that it's in a wrong spot, what do we got to do to fix Town Hall 11 without compromising other Town Hall levels like the Loon buff kind of did to help 11s, but it ended up making 9 really easy for air.
Right, right. Yeah, I actually made a video pretty recently just giving my thoughts, but I can probably summarize them a little bit better in this interview. And my opinion's probably a little bit different because I see Town Hall 11 in a little bit of a different way than most people probably do.
Very true.
And I got a little bit of backlash in my video I made. But basically, I think if we're talking Town Hall 9, 10, 11 specifically at this point in the game, I think the one I'm most concerned about is Town Hall 9. That's not a Town Hall level I want to become what Town Hall 8 is, making it too easy.
Yeah.
And the reason that I get a lot of backlash is because a lot of people aren't in our pocket of the game.
Right.
We're kind of sitting here saying, look at all these ways you can 3-star a Town Hall 9, especially with, balloons and stuff. Mm-hmm. Whereas there's people that are maybe getting their first 3 stars with this because it's a little bit more feasible to 3-star a Town Hall 9 without such extensive planning and stuff. So all I can really do is kind of, I guess, advocate for my pocket of the game, and that's the way I tend to look at it. And I think Town Hall 9 for the CWL type clans has become a little bit too easy for the 3-star, especially with loons. I proposed them bringing I believe it's level 12 Archer Towers down to Town Hall 9.
Oh, nice.
I think that would make it perfect because it would nerf ground a little bit too. It wouldn't, like an air defense buff would just nerf the air,
right?
Which I think wouldn't completely solve it. So that was kind of what I thought would be a good solution. A lot of people disagreed, but talking about Town Hall 10 and Town Hall 11 a little bit, I think we have to kind of wait and see because they're so dynamic right now. Just in the last few weeks, we've seen the air defenses basically shift in all these weird locations to defend against the new air meta with balloons and specifically lava hounds. Because if you put the air defenses in weird places, the lava hounds go to weird places and they don't tank right for the balloons. So we saw that at Town Hall 10. It happens like overnight, pretty much. All the bases changed almost.
Right.
And then for Town Hall 11, we're just starting to see people possibly start thinking about anti-3-star bases because we're starting to see some of these anti-2-star bases being 3-starred by the new Loon meta where you use the clone spell typically. Mm-hmm. I've shown a few attacks. But yeah, it's that one set strategy people use at Town Hall 11. So I think because those two Town Hall levels are so dynamic, I'd probably like to see Supercell kind of sit back, see how things play out. And once they become a little more stagnant, then they can make the change with a little bit more perspective. But as far as kind of how I see Town Hall 11, and this is where I might disagree with a lot of people, I don't want it to be anywhere near like where Town Hall 9 or 10 is with 3 stars. Because my fear is that if Town Hall 11 3 stars become too viable, we might get in situations where the entire map is 3-starred. Then that's it's a tie. How do you decide?
It's supposed to be hard. Yeah, I agree with you.
Right. There should be probably, if there's, I don't know, 6 Town Hall 11s, if there's any more than 2 or 3 of those being 3-starred in a war, that can get really dangerous in terms of just throwing the whole balance off. Because we're seeing clans in CWL starting to 3-star 1 or 2 Town Hall 11s already.
Yep.
And the bases will change for the better. I mean, it's going to be a lot harder to 3-star an anti-3-star Town Hall 11 base. But I think right now it might be in a relatively good place. I'd like to see maybe one other like ground strategy that's viable for 3-stars, because we don't like to see one set strategy dominating the prospects of a town hall level. So I'd like to see maybe some kind of new troop that takes up 40 troop space that's exclusive to Town Hall 11. It would take a lot of testing, but some kind of support troop on the ground. That might be cool, or maybe just buff spells. Maybe have a heal spell that's higher level.
Only at 11,
something
right?
like that. Only at 11, of course.
I follow you.
Town Hall 10, it's hard to say. I think we're seeing a lot of different stuff, and we should wait. I don't think there's changes needed right now, because as we're seeing the air defenses go to weird places, it's starting to kind of balance itself out just by virtue of the base builders changing the bases a little bit.
Yeah, well stated. I would agree with a lot of points that you said there, and I think that you well articulated that, especially that we don't want to see 9 fall to number 8. And I agree with you. Let's no disrespect. I have an 8, one of my minis, but it's boring. I mean, nothing stops a hog swarm. 8 is broken, in my opinion. It is
right.
Level 4 hogs, and it's all day, every day. But our last question I have for you, something a little fun. What troop in the game best defines you?
Well, that's a tough question. I'm going to quickly pull up Clash of Clans just so I have all my options here.
Build everything on the map. Builders, Felicia, you know, the little girl that runs around under the villager? I call her Felicia. So nothing's off limits. What troop?
Let me go to my barracks. Gosh, this is a tough one.
Yeah, I did sneak this one up on you. I'm sorry.
Probably, I like the golem. I don't know if it reflects me, but it's just like so cool. Like, just walks right up to a defense or a building and just kind of starts jabbing at it with its rocky arms. I just think the golem's a cool troop, and I guess you got to have thick skin like the golem, or thick rocks or whatever's on the outside. So
right on.
Golem, I guess.
Right on. Well,
what about you?
Well, that's I thought I was trying to think if you would actually
Felicia?
throw it back at me. Nah, not Felicia. It would have to be the Hog Rider, just because his voice, because he looks so awesome, right? The Hog Rider running around and his big old grin on his face, and then when he finally talked in the commercial, like, what? I like balloons. It's like, I love it. The balloon parade, balloons parade. I love it.
That's a pretty good impression.
Thanks. I'll be here all week. Don't forget to tip your waitress. But
maybe you should start another second channel for that.
That's right. Brutal karaoke. I'm sorry.
That would be brutal. Yeah.
Yeah, it would. I don't think I'd have any subscribers. I think I'd have to pay YouTube to put those videos on there. Anyway, well, I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to sit down with me and just interview, the man, the myth, the legend, Bisectatron. Hold on. Bisectatron. Are you a Transformers fan?
No.
Do you
want to hear how I got this?
Yes. How'd you get Bisectatron?
Okay, yeah. 8th grade geometry.
Oh, what is that? I don't know. Follow that one.
So geometry. I took geometry in 8th grade, and basically in geometry, one thing you do is bisect angles. Okay, so it's kind of stupid. I mean, we were like, our class, there's a ton of trolls and stuff in it, so we were like making nicknames and stuff with geometry terms. And I think I've said this in one video, but most people don't know this, but basically I think one guy was like the outlawed angler or something stupid like that, and then I became Bisectatron because we were bisecting angles. And I guess just the Tron, Megatron, Calvin Johnson, it's a common thing to throw onto the end of stuff. So yeah, that's how it happened. And then it was kind of a nickname, and I was going into Clash of Clans. I didn't want to use my real name, so I just thought, okay, I guess I'll use Bisectatron, and it kind of became a big thing with my YouTube channel.
I never would have guessed. I honestly thought you were like a Transformers fan, but I love the story. So
no, the only thing I know is Megatron and Bumblebee. That's all I know.
That's all that. Well, as long as you know the Autobots, that's all that matters. So
okay.
Well, again, thank you for sitting down and doing this. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to sitting down and doing a video for you on your channel, and I'll link again your channel in the description. That's going to be it for this interview. Once again, it's Brutus and Bisectatron reminding you got to be better than a double, and we'll check you next time.